They had -1 yards offense in the second half. Between last week's first half and this week's second half, they've become the Chiefs of last season. They're winning. They're 4-0 in one-possession games, but the margins have come way down. They have had multiple dreadful halves 4 games in. And they have a worse point differential at 4-0 than the Patriots do at 2-2. They are 30th in yards per play. There's no excuse. Very good O-line, Saquon Barkley, above-average tight ends, A.J. Brown. There is no excuse for being 30th in the NFL in yards per play. By the way, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, A.J.'s back in the witness protection program. And they're trying to get him the ball. They targeted him 9 times. They're not ignoring him. They're feeding him for 7 yards. So he's right now, A.J. Brown is a top 4 or 5 talent in the league at his position. He's not top 50 in yards or catches. So I don't care. You know how I said you got to watch the Giants, the games? You got to watch these games. I don't care about the record. So, I mean, like Buffalo's defense isn't great, but they don't have great personnel. The personnel here is unbelievable. And what's happening, everybody's banging on Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's become the New York Giants Saquon Barkley. Nobody respects the downfield game, so they're putting 8 and 9 in the box. And so Saquon Barkley, I mean, nobody's going to run if you put 9 in the box. So there's all sorts of issues here. People have a book on this team. The Rams had a book on them, and they couldn't hold on. And the Bucs figured them out, punt at the end, and they couldn't come back. But I think there's a book on the Eagles, and not the one that A.J. Brown once read on the sidelines. It's not good, and here's Sirianni after.
In the first half, he was 14. I look at the stat sheet, 15 to 16. That's good. That's pretty darn good. And then the second half, again, we didn't coach well enough. We didn't play well enough in the second half. We were able to hang on for the win because the defense was able to get us some turnovers. But second half, I'm not sure any of us played or coached to our standard there on offense.
Okay, let's have a real conversation about this Philadelphia Eagles team, because as per usual, it's just a whole lot of nonsense, and I'm not taking care of it. And at all today, I'm not. It's like this is a no nonsense Monday right now, because it's just I don't got the time, I don't got the patience, I don't got the energy. So we are absolutely just getting after this right now. But before we do, Philadelphia Eagles fans, please do subscribe. Please watch this video in its full length, as it is the best way to help support the growth of this channel. This is what happens when people subscribe to this video on watching the whole video. It just goes up and we can create something so unbelievably special. I am trying so hard, as you guys can see in my recent videos, I am trying so hard to firmly root this channel in the sports talk world, so we can be a voice that is truly heard. I really see it as we, not me. It is zero cost. It costs you nothing. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to get you to buy these headphones, buy this shirt. Not trying to get you to download an app and use bonus code Julian. None of that. Just zero cost. So if you can, please subscribe. Please watch the full-length video, and we can just start and create something that is a true force to be reckoned with. Now that we got that out of the way, oh man, there's a book out on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Bucs figured them out. The Rams figured them out. They're like the Kansas City Chiefs of last year. Oh my gosh. First off, the Kansas City Chiefs last year were playing bad football. Patrick Mahomes was playing bad football. It was turnover after turnover after turnover after turnover. They were winning off of these crazy, fluky, bizarre things. That's not how the Eagles have unfolded this season right now. Okay, not to mention, all I heard is, oh, well, you're going to get every team's best punch, and oh, the every game against the Chiefs is the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. And with the Eagles, it's just like, there's problems. Up there's problems. Up there's problems. Up there's problems. They're targeting at A.J. Brown. They have too good of an O-line. First off, Jalen Hurts has been pressured a ton this season. A ton. And he's done a beautiful job dealing with it. Okay. They have a ton of new faces on defense that Fangio is working on integrating, just like how he had to do last year. And now this year, again, their O-line's been banged up. They have a brand new offensive coordinator, which I already showed you that quote the other day. It is the most important relationship. A play caller and the quarterback is the most important relationship in all of sports. And surprise, surprise, Jalen Hurts has to now learn an entirely new relationship in that regard. Um, you're going to have some growing pains, and they're not doing a good job of targeting A.J. Brown. So it's not like, oh, well, they're trying to get him the ball. Almost none of these balls are catchable, or they're just these quick 5-yard passes, and it's just going to be like you're either going to catch it and then fall down and hit the ground, or you're going to just go off your fingertips and it's just going to, hit the ground. So it's all of these really, really low percentage opportunities. And again, like I said in my post-game live clip, it's like you see the impact of coaching that first half. You're like, wow, this is what coaching can look like. Like, look at the innovation. Look at the look at the flexibility, the creativity. You're like, wow, like this play calling has rhythm. There's misdirection. Like, this is awesome. This is impressive. Like, whoa. Like, you start to think of yourself like, wow, this is what a greatly innovated offense can look like with a roster like the Philadelphia Eagles. You get the chills and you're like, whoa, wow. And then the second half comes around and you're like, and this is also the impact of coaching, where everyone and their mother sitting at home knowing they're going to run the ball. Saquon Barkley is going to run the ball. It's a shame we had Tom Brady. Like, I love Tom Brady because he's obviously really smart, and obviously he's been there a million times. He also can give some rough commentary, honestly. I mean, like, I wish we had Greg Olsen again. I really did, because it's the Eagles, especially that second half. They have the big lead. They're winning. They feel like they're rolling right now, and then they just kind of get back into this, let's just be real conservative. Let's just hand the ball off. Let's just hand the ball off. Let's just hand the ball off. And it goes nowhere. They're making life hard for Saquon Barkley. They don't do anything to make the run game easy for someone like a Saquon. Go W, just watch the Eagles and the Cowboys, or excuse me, the Cowboys and the Packers yesterday. So much of the misdirection and the way how both Schottenheimer, weird to say, as well as Matt LaFleur, there was this one play where Jordan Love practically spun in like 3 complete circles, and I don't even remember who ended up even getting the ball at that point, but it was a beautiful play. The Dallas Cowboys had a few interesting reverses. Like, there's just innovation that you see a lot, almost kind of like what the Eagles showed with the little tosses to Dallas GD and to the fake tush push to Saquon Barkley. But they don't do any of that in ways that say, hey, we're going to make Saquon Barkley's life a little easier. But to pretend like these still weren't big wins, exciting wins, intense wins, got to have it wins. I mean, like, all I hear is that Jalen Hurts is so bad. Oh, they didn't do this in the second half and this or that. That all needs to be discussed. But Jalen Hurts was the leading rusher, and he was a yard short of being the leading rusher in the entire game. Okay, he was 15 for 16, 130 yards, 8.1 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, and a 140.1 passer rating. Okay? And we've had Patrick Mahomes in single halves play awful, have under 100 yards. In this very game, Baker Mayfield, 12 for 21, 65 yards, 3.1 yards per attempt, and a 62.6 passer rating. And what's so interesting to me is that Jalen Hurts gets ripped for that first half of last week, but then gets not a lot of credit for the second half. Nowhere near as much credit as I'm sure Baker Mayfield will get for the second half in this game. Or that we've seen Patrick Mahomes get in against his first few weeks, and now Jalen Hurts absolutely balls out in this first half because the play calling is there to support it. And then in the second half, they don't have it, and it's just like, wow, Jalen Hurts can't throw. Jalen Hurts is not good. And like, those types of takes drive me absolutely insane. Drives me absolutely insane. It's showing you coaching. It's showing you that you got to be able to call the plays. This is not just, hey, we got a bunch of guys and we're just going to trot them out there and hope for the best. That's not what it's about. And, Siri said, oh, the players need to play better. But he also clearly blamed the coaching in the second half. He said the coaching needs to be better and the players need to be better. But it's really coaching more than anything. I mean, you could see the play calling. You could see the decisions that they're making. And listen, I appreciate their conservative nature in a lot of ways. The Eagles are winning these games because they're not turning the ball over. Okay, go watch the Ravens versus the Chiefs. Lamar turns the ball over twice. He had the interception and the fumble. As soon as that happens, you're just like, the game is over. The G. I mean this. And it happened, I think, in the first quarter. I mean, it definitely happened in the first half, and you're just like, the game's over. You're like, it's done now. See you. Goodbye. And then they even went for it on fourth, and one didn't get it, and the Chiefs were already like in, they were already at, the Ravens like 35 or 40. You're just like, it's the game that's essentially a turnover. So you're like, it's like 3 turnovers in like 5 minutes. Like, yeah, game over. Baker Mayfield throws that interception. It's like, oh, game over. Game over. Justin Herbert has some bad luck tipped interception. Game over, game over. So the fact that the Eagles are being so smart and taking care of bit, like they are being really smart in that regard, and I do respect it, but there does need to be a little bit more a bounce. But the fact that someone like AJ Brown now is, sending out those messages about like not wanting me or when people don't want you or something like that is a big baby. That is a big baby because they're 4-0. They're undefeated. They're coming off winning a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has, what is it, like 43 total touchdowns of the last like 18 games. Yeah, I understand you're not getting the numbers that you want. I get that. I really, really do. Justin Jefferson feasted in Ireland or wherever the heck they were. He lost. Jamar Chase feasted all last year. He lost. The rookie wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers feasted. They lost. I mean, we can just keep going on and on and on. I mean, these are team wins. The blocked punt, the aggressive pass rush, and the tipped inner and the tipped ball on Baker to lead to the interception. I mean, like, these are huge moments here, and these are well-coached moments and well-prepared moments. You got to give them credit. We can criticize the Eagles for some of their concerns, and they are real concerns, as I've been talking about all season long. But you got to balance it out with everything that's also going great. Because for a long time, everyone told me that Jalen Hurts can only win and only be successful when everything is perfect around him. Now we're saying, oh, these other teams have the answer on them. They're taking away Saquon Barkley. A.J. Brown's not a big impact. Devontae's not a big impact. The defense has given up points. And yet Jalen Hurts is still winning. Riddle me that. Make sense of that. Emphasize that. But we don't hear any of that. We just hear the second half. They did nothing. They got the book is written on them. The book is written on them. What are we saying right now? What are we inventing right now? The Rams were praised as being a top team in the NFL. The Bucs were praised as being a top team in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs have been a top team in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys are hanging 40 on the Green Bay Packers, who everyone said was the #1 team in the NFL. And the Eagles win. This isn't awful of flukes here. This isn't because the Eagles are playing bad football. The Kansas City Chiefs were playing bad football last year, and they were still able to come away with some wins. That's the difference. The Kansas City Chiefs weren't breaking in a new offensive coordinator, okay? Like that wasn't happening. So, yeah, the heat is on with this Philadelphia Eagles team because we see that they're 4-0. We know the roster is great. We see A.J. Brown is obviously not happy, which we knew was going to happen. We knew that they were going to have to rework this defense. This O-line is banged up. And so now they're going through some adversity here. But it's just so obnoxious to act like this is now just like, I don't know, like the final story written about the Philadelphia Eagles are like that. This is like, see, the light has been shined on them, and it's just like, what narrative are we inventing right now? I mean, seriously, just everything is just constantly twisted. It just doesn't, I mean, the Green Bay Packer is tied, and Colin was like, don't panic, Packers fans. Everything is okay. Philadelphia Eagles are 4-0. And it's like, uh-oh. Mayday, mayday, mayday. And it's just like, guys, we got to have some nuance here. We got to have some balance here, but those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles? Are you concerned by Philly being 4-0 in one-score games? Are you concerned by Philly's offensive struggles? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So, you agree with me or disagree with me? Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.